guys, welcome to the latest part of this week's Coffin Hair Show, taking you to the new single issues into the store this week. So these are all the new single issue releases from DC, from Marvel, the indie companies, so on and so forth. So jumping straight in, we're going to jump into DC, and I made sure to do a couple of restocks this week. So back in stock is Absolute Batman number 4. We sold through our allocation really quickly last week. I can never order enough of these. That's what I'm finding more and more with the Absolute titles. There's a reason for that. They're fantastic. So Absolute Batman 4 back in stock. As well as that, we have Absolute Superman number 3 back in stock. I've spoken about it a couple of times. This is very much my favorite of the Absolute books. Absolute Batman is superb, but there's just something about this Absolute Superman book that it just edges it for me. And also back in stock is Absolute Wonder Woman issue 3 as well. So you can get fully up to date with all the Absolute titles, all back in stock in the store. Next up, we have the second issue from the facsimile run for Batman Hush. A pretty great run back in the 2000s. Jeff Loeb and Jim Lee working on these ones. So perfect facsimiles again. It's going to go for a good 11 issues, I think. It's going to be weekly. We do still have 608, which is part 1. 609 is part 2 and out this week. Moving from there, we have Batman and Robin Year 1 this week. Issue 4 for that. So Mark Waid, Chris Samney, powerhouse team are looking at the early days of the Batman and Robin dynamic duo era. Also this week, in terms of Batman, you have Batman Superman World's Finest. We're as far now as issue 35 for this one. Mark Waid continuing to write on that. Artist on this one is Adrian Gutierrez. We have Challengers of the Unknown, issue 2. So Christopher Cantwell, Sean Isaac on this one. Someone mentioned to me, Challengers of the Unknown is almost like the Fantastic Four of the DC universe. Next up, we have restocks of Justice League The Atom Project. This has been selling really well. Ram Parrott, John Ridley involved with this. Mike Perkins on art. Mike Perkins, where do we know that name from? He'll be in that in our in-store signing on February the 8th. Just have to keep plugging that along with Garth Ennis. Next up, we have New Gods number 2. So Ram V and Evan Cagle continue on with their exploration of the New Gods and the Jack Kirby 4th World. We've issue 1s in stock, so again, if you're playing catch up on that, we got you covered with issue 1 and issue 2. Next up, we have The Nice House by the Sea. So next issue of Alvaro Martinez Bueno and James Tynion IV, post-apocalyptic tale, is now out. We have Nightwing number 122. So continuing on for the new run from Dan Waters and Dexter Soy. What else have we got? As you can tell, it's a pretty big DC week. We have Question, All Along the Watchtower, Hunted. So issue 3 for this one. Alex Segarra writing, Keon Tormey on art. And DC wise, I think we have 2 more to go. We have Titans issue 19. So John Layman and Daniel Acuna on that. And we finish off DC with again some restocks. We sold through Two-Face very quickly last week, issue 2. Brilliant kickoff for this series from Christian Ward. Moving on to Marvel, we have Alien Paradiso, issue 2. So continuing on with the Steve Fox, Edgar Salazar entry into the Alien world. First issue was really good of that. We have Amazing Spider-Man 65-point deaths. So again, tying into the deaths issues, the death story arc, I should say. With this one, it's Derek Landy and Kev Walker on art with that one. We have Exceptional X-Men number 5 this week. Al Ewing and Carmen Carnero continue on with their entry into the post-Krakoa era. Incredible Hulk, issue 21. So Phil Kennedy Johnson continuing to write his horror take on the Hulk. Danny Earls on art. We move on from there to Miles Morales Spider-Man, issue 29. Cody Siglar, Daniel DiNiculo on art. A big one this week seems to be Rogue the Savage Land. So this is another one of those books where it's going back into the past, Marvel continuities, and telling you stories within those. So I'm sure that's going to be a popular one this week. We have Spirits of Vengeance number 5. So continuing on here with the Ghost Rider title. Storm number 4. Earth's Mightiest Mutant, of course. So continuing on the series for Storm. Pardon me. The other really big one this week is Ultimate Wolverine. So brand new #1, Chris Condon writing, Alessandro Capuccio on art. I read this last night. It is fast paced. It is brutal. It pulls no punches, setting up a really, really interesting story and a really, really interesting entry into the Ultimate Universe. Very, very impressed with that, I have to say. So we ordered big on that. We have What If Galactus transformed Gambit, as well as What If Galactus transformed Moon Knight. The Gambit one, I believe, was supposed to be last week. We weren't sent our copies, but we've got both this week. So again, you can catch up on those. Really fun one-shots. And we finish off Marvel with your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man issue 2 there. So that is DC and that is Marvel. Moving on now to the indie side of things. We're going to kick things off with a new Distillery book, which is from the powerhouse team of Scott Snyder and Jock, called You Won't Feel a Thing. New horror-based title, which is exactly the wheelhouse that these guys thrive in. We have the last issue of Kanto, A Place Like Home, of course from the team David M. Booher, Drew Zucker on that one. We move from Kanto on to another big release this week, which is G.I. Joe #3. G.I. Joe's just been great so far, really, really fun. Read issues 2 and 3 last night. Joshua Williamson just writing that love letter to 80s action cinema. And from G.I. Joe, we go on to Jim Henson Presents. So this is a one-shot, I believe, looking at some of the best creations in the Jim Henson universe and telling some new stories. Just a couple more to go. We have the Resurgence of the Valiant Universe Bloodshot issue. So it's a tie-in to Resurgence of the Valiant Universe. And we finish off then with Walking Dead Deluxe issue 105. Again, read that last night. That's very much a Negan-centric issue as he sort of shows his admiration for Carl after he tried to gun down his entire operation. So that's all of the single issues in terms of the traditional cover A's. We've got our variant covers this week as well. So we have Rogue the Savage Land first up. J. Scott Campbell on variant duty there. So let's be honest with the J. Scott Campbell cover. You know what to expect. Next up, we have a Previews UK exclusive 10th printing cover for Transformers #1. So one for all you Transformers collectors out there. Next up is Ultimate Wolverine #1. This is the Lionel Yu variant cover. So again, we've went big on the variant covers for Ultimate Wolverine. Gleb Melnikov with the next one there, showcasing the Ultimate Wolverine stalking from the treetops. My personal favorite is the Lee Bermeo variant cover. I've just always loved Lee Bermeo's art, just powerful figures, always great coloring. Yeah, very much my favorite variant cover this week. We also have some ratio incentive ones. We have the retailer incentive 1:50, done by Gabriel Del Otto. And as well as that, we have the retailer incentive 1:25 by Steve Scrooge as well. A couple more different variant covers. We have Nightwing 122. This is the Dan Panasian variant cover. As well as that, we have the Babs Tar variant cover for Nightwing 122 also. Then we have some New Gods, issue 2. Christian Ward on cover duty for that one. For the Batman Hush facsimiles, they've also been doing foil variant covers, so got that in. These were a couple from last week that weren't sent to us but have been sent this week. Batman 156, and that's an Alexander Lozano variant cover. We finish off the variant covers this week with the Great and Chris Samney doing a cover for Batman Superman World's Finest 35. So yeah, that's everything this week in terms of single issues. Pull lists are of course organised and ready for collection whenever suits. Again, keep in mind our signing event coming up in a few weeks. Garth Ennis and Mike Perkins, Saturday the 8th of February, 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock. Very much looking forward to it. Should be a great day. And outside of that, that's everything from me this week. So as ever, hope you guys enjoyed this. Hope it proved useful for you, and I'll look forward to seeing you in the store soon. Take it easy.